Morgan lost in a game to her daughter Ava and must agree for one day to any of her proposals. So Ava asks for a tour of her mother's office. Unfortunately, while Ava is in the restroom, two officers of the National Guard, Brooke and Jeremy, take control of the floor at gunpoint. Brooke holds a detonator and says she can destroy the whole building. They confiscate everyone's phones and weapons. They also have the whole building evacuated except for about a dozen people taken hostage in the major crimes bullpen. SWAT is controlling all points of exit. Karadek, Selena, and Oz are nearby in a van. The hostage-takers say that their friend Hansen is wrongly accused of murder and want the cops to find the real killer. Morgan realizes Brooke and Hansen are in love and are planning to start a family. If convicted, Hansen will get at least 25 years in jail for shooting Weber in his RV. The gun had his prints and had traces of acetone which Hansen was using in a home remodeling project. Witnesses reported seeing Hansen and Weber at a bar the night before Weber's death. A bartender said they appeared to be arguing. Hansen was up for a well-paid overseas post but turned it down. Or did Weber deny Hansen the post and Hansen reacted by killing him? But Selena points out that the prints on the gun could be from when Hansen and Weber went to the shooting range together. After checking the evidence, Mellon tells the two assailants that he also thinks that Hansen is the killer, which upsets Jeremy a lot. Luckily, Morgan intervenes and points out that blood splatter has a perfect corner, meaning something was there but was moved before the cops arrived. So Morgan asks Karadek to go into Weber's RV. Karadek can't find a paper with blood, but he can into a laptop and sees that the last thing he printed was a form to accuse a soldier of a crime. Hansen was a model soldier, so it probably wasn't him. Jeremy becomes increasingly antsier and often goes over the edge. At one point, Mellon tries to overpower Jeremy but fails and a shot hits an artery of the janitor's leg. Morgan is able to convince Brooke to let Ava bring Tom outside for medical care. When they check Weber's phone in the evidence box, they can see that on the day of the murder, Weber first went to an address for drugs and prostitution, and then to a private detox center, even though he didn't drink or take drugs. So it appears he picked up someone and took them to rehab. Karadek calls the detox facility, but they don't want to give up the anonymity of their patients, so he starts to inquire at local convenience stores. And one clerk indeed saw a 6-feet-tall guy with a military haircut. They send a photo of the security footage to the hostage-takers, but it's too blurry. Morgan suddenly realizes that Weber's phone lacks any incoming messages. This raises a question without communication. How did he know the pickup location? Then she recalls finding a receipt showing Weber bought an air tracking tag 2 weeks earlier. Weber must have suspected his fellow soldier was using drugs and attached the tracking device to him. When the tag showed movement to a known drug area, it confirmed his suspicions and he drove there to bring him to rehab. The app shows the tag was on Weber's RV on the date and time of Weber's murder. And even better, the killer still has the tag on him and they can arrest him. Brooke's relieved that Hansen will be set free and accepts she will go to trial, but Jeremy reacts by knocking her out from behind. With the detonator in his hand, he demands a better deal. But Morgan then realizes that there are no real bombs. Daphne can overpower him. Morgan reunites with Ava outside. Brooke apologizes to Morgan. Morgan visits Tom in the hospital. Morgan is greeted at work the next day by a huge round of applause and is given her own desk. Lieutenant Mellon promises to stop calling her the cleaning lady.